getting ready for camp?
Well, they're, Jules doing everything except we're not scrimmaging them. I mean, that's basically it. And Brandon's done everything, all spring long up until he got dinged up. So they're practicing, I guess would be would be the biggest thing there.
Is it conditioning kind of a focus thing, or is it, are you?
No, that's, well, I mean, I'm sure it is, but it's not what we're concerned about. We're concerned, about bringing them along, as running backs at their position. So not, but Jules run, he's been in the 7-on-7s, he's done all that stuff, and Brandon's done everything, up until, like I said, you get a little banged up. So, but that's, we have, we weren't going to tackle Brandon anyway, no matter what, this spring.
You don't see the offense. You don't see the offense changing or adjusting to any of the three running backs. They seem, I'm not sure their skills are exactly the same, but I think you guys probably ask the running back to do what, the running back's job doesn't really change much. He runs the ball, he blocks, and I don't think, do you see, is there adjustments for either of the three?
I don't see them. They've all successfully run the ball in our system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a matter of how we use them. And the thing that's different right now, which I can honestly say, when Jewel was a true freshman, I probably didn't have the same confidence, in him early on in the season, in the protections, and just leaving him in and let him protect, and you look back and you sort of wish you had a little more confidence in him. But we decided this year, hey, we're just, Wagner and Robinson are going to stay in there, and they did a great job in protection. And they're not as big. They're not even as big, but they're tough. They're smart. Lester did a great job of getting those guys ready. I've mentioned that a bunch of times, prior to the spring practice. But I mean, they made some big plays that people never noticed during the course of the year when they stepped up and took a linebacker on or picked the DB up from the outside that, allowed Rick to step up in the pocket and make him play and keep going. And, those things, are so underrated, because, you normally don't pick those up, on the television or on a replay. But that's, those guys have proven that you can do that. And that has allowed us to keep them in some of those third down situations where we used to sub in a bigger fullback.
Right.
And if we put Edgar Cervantes or Aaron Mickens or any of these other guys that went into, Tom Bush went in the game that, if we handed them the ball, it was a trick play, and they were there to block and protect, and we weren't going to throw them the ball. And I think if you watch, even in Penn State, there's a couple of games where Rick was able to dump down to, Robinson, and he took off, and he made a few things happen. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than a 5-yard throw when nobody's covering you over the middle and you take off for 20 and just keep the whole thing going. And that again is what you get when you actually have a running back in the game and not a fullback.
Right.
From what you've seen of Jewel this spring, is he physically back to where he was before the?
I would say yes, from from where I'm seeing him. He has, guys come off of major injuries like that, and they're holding back, or they're just not sure, they're not confident, I guess, in what they're doing, and so they might be a little tentative. But Jewel has never been tentative in anything. I mean, the other day we popped, we just threw a swing pass out to him, and he juked the guy on the edge and went running up to the next guy, juked him, and kept going as well. So that's not a guy who's worried about his injury. It's a guy who's confident that he's back and he's ready. He's ready to go. So that's good. He looks like he's going a mile a minute, and he's doing those kinds of things, which to me means he's confident and ready. So.
Last question. If there is